Welcome back to the show. Now, every day we go about our lives, around our home or into the office, and just assume that everything will be okay, that we'll all be safe. But what or who is it that makes sure that we are? Well, the answer is a company you've probably never heard of, but they might have saved your life. Let's welcome Adam Stingemore from Standards Australia to tell us more. G'day, Adam.
Hello, Sarah. How are you doing?
Yeah, good to see you. Hey, Standards Australia is celebrating its 100th birthday this month, 100th anniversary.
Yeah.
Tell us about them.
So, 100 years ago, Standards Australia was set up to start working on the standards that we needed in Australia to not only keep us safe, but to build our economy. Standards set out regulations and guidelines on almost everything, and I have no doubt that both of you this morning have had your life saved by Standards.
100%. Yeah. What was the very first Australian standard that was implemented, and why was that done?
Yeah, so the first standard that we developed in Australia was for the rivets for the bolts in the harbour bridge. So every time we go across the harbour bridge, we assume we're going to be safe, right? We assume that the bridge is going to stay there. It couldn't do that without those rivets. 6 million of them built to Australian standards. Now, really interestingly, the second set of standards that we developed were to take us from horse-drawn carriages to motor cars. And now, 100 years later, we're working on autonomous cars so that we have the standards so that cars can sort of take us around without a driver. So 100 years of history from the Harbour Bridge to where we are today.
There you go. You obviously can't plan for every eventuality, but what sort of events have triggered new standards?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So Cyclone Tracy was probably one where we did a lot of work, right? That the climate was starting to change even back then, and the building standards reform that we went through after that event, the Kerrang rail crash is another example, where we work sort of after an event to make sure that in Australia we have the standards that we need. We try, of course, always to make sure that the standards are right at the beginning, but sometimes there are these events where we have to take action.
Well, they cover almost every aspect of our life as well. So how many standards is there? There must be thousands of them.
Yeah, we've got about 28,000 standards in our catalogue. Everything from babies, dummies, to children's car seats, to the software that sits in the new devices that we're bringing into our homes that we talk to and talk back to us. There's a standard for everything. And
how are they assessed? I mean, how's the new standard come in?
Yeah, so we bring industry, government and the community together, and they set the standard through our process. At the end of the development process, they all vote. So when an Australian standard's published, it's supported by industry, it's supported by government and it's supported by the community, so that we can have confidence in the products and the systems that we use every day.
The world, as we know, it's evolving all the time. So how do you keep up with the ever-changing and new standards? I'm sure technology, as that changes as well. Like, there's so much to keep up with.
No, it is. And if you think about the last 10 years, so even 10 years ago, buildings were physical infrastructure. Today, buildings have more sensors in them than rocket ships. And our job is to make sure that not only are those buildings fit for purpose, but the information technology and the data systems and that everything that's in them are trusted, and that when you're at home or when you're at work, you can trust the environment that you're in.
Thanks for keeping us safe.
Yeah, happy 100th anniversary to Standards Australia. Thanks for keeping us safe, no matter where you are in this country of ours. Keep doing what you're doing, and how do you celebrate 100 years of high standards?
Yeah, no, we invited 500 of our closest friends for dinner on Wednesday night. We've had the two leaders of the standards world globally come and join us, so it's been a very big week.
Beautiful. I thought you were going to say no standards. Like, no standards tonight. Everyone just go mental.
Just lower it a little bit. Thank you so much.